had some technical issues. Had some technical issues to connect, and today we are talking about leads. Leads. What do you do with leads? Generating leads. What do you do with? How do you nurture leads? How do you convert leads? Because leads is about starting relationships, building upon the relationships, and then ultimately converting and going deeper with the relationship. And leads is really just traffic that you own. If you want to know what leads is, traffic that you own. Nobody can take that away from you. This is people who've raised their hand, shown interest in you, came and got something, opted in something, registered for something, right? They raised their hand. So there's interest. They went from awareness to interest. That's what this is all about. Okay, so finally we are streaming to one of our our channel, and we did not do not have any more technical issues. So I am going to be diving into it right now. Okay, here we go. Most entrepreneurs say that they need more leads, but that is not always true. Some do not need more leads, they need better leads. Some do not need better leads, they need better nurturing. And some do not need more nurturing. They actually need to learn how to convert better. That is the problem. A lot of people are so obsessed with getting the lead that they forget the lead is not the goal. The goal is relationship. The goal is trust. The goal is movement. The goal is conversion. And when you do not understand that, you build a business that has full of names but empty sales. And that's why today we're going to talk about how the rich build riches. They know how to turn leads into money. If you want more sales, you cannot just collect leads. You must learn how to generate the right leads. Again, generate the right leads, nurture them with intention, and convert them through trust. Most entrepreneurs are struggling because leads do not work. They are struggling because they do not understand the full lead journey. Lead generation gets attention, lead nurturing builds trust, lead conversion moves people into action. When you master all three, your business grows with more predictability. Lead generation without nurturing leaks, nurturing without conversion stalls, and conversion without trust breaks. That is why this matters. Welcome, guys, today to the Anywhere Entrepreneur Live. We are all about the freedom, preneur way, the freedom to live, to work, to earn from anywhere. Last live, I was actually in Singapore just a few days ago on Wednesday, and at Changi International Airport, transiting from Singapore to Japan. I'm actually in Japan now. I'm actually at really cool. It's actually in one of these internet cafes. So if you don't know about Japan, they have these internet cafes where you can actually come work out of, and they have open concept where people are in an open area, and then you can also rent rooms for one people, two people, three people, four people. Some people, because it's open 24 hours, it's got showers, it's got all the facilities, and then it's also got food that you can order and all of that stuff. Some people actually rent these and essentially live here. They don't, like, they can't own one, but they rent it for 24 hours, they leave, they come check back in and rent another room, because the cost of living is so high. Some people actually rent these rooms and actually stay in these rooms because these chairs can roll down into a bed and all of that stuff. So that's where I'm actually at today. So I'm in Japan, in a city called Fukuoka. Um, and last week today we're talking about leads, but then last week we talked about optimizing your business for either awareness, leads, or sales. We talked about how not every business has the same bottleneck. Some business needs more visibility, some need more leads, and some need stronger sales. Today in Japan, and we're going deeper with this into really the lead stage, because once you identify that your business needs leads, the next question becomes, how do you actually generate leads, nurture leads, and convert leads? And by the end of this particular live, I want you to know exactly how to think about lead generation the right way, how to nurture leads so trust gets built, and how to convert leads without forcing the sale. Because when you understand this journey, you stop chasing random leads and you start building a system that creates clients. If you're ready to master lead generation, lead nurturing, and lead conversion, drop leads in the comments. And if you're here live with us, Or if you're watching this later on, drop where you're actually tuning in from. We definitely want to know where you're actually at. Just like right now, I'm actually in Japan. So now, before I teach this, let's talk about your resistance to to building a list and nurturing the list, because again, this is traffic that you own. Nobody can take it away from you, right? Because most people want leads fast. They want the shortcut. I've been there. They want the ad to work immediately. They want the webinar to convert immediately. They want the person to opt in and buy on the same day. And that is where people get frustrated. I know I was there. I was very, very frustrated when I did not know the lead journey, because the truth is most leads are not ready the moment they enter your world. They need context, they need clarity, they need trust, they need proof, they need movement. But people resist that because they think if I just had more leads, I'd make more money. If I just ran ads, everything would work. If they opted in and did not buy, they must not be serious. If I have to nurture them, something must be wrong. No, sometimes the problem is not the lead. Sometimes the problem is the lack of journey after the lead generation. And the stakes here are high, my friends, because if you do not understand this, you will spend money generating leads that go nowhere, build an email list that never turns into revenue, blame your offer when the real issue is your nurturing, and lose people who could have become great clients if you had simply led them better. So this really matters. This topic matters because leads are not just contacts; they are opportunities that lead that really need cultivation. So last live, we talked about the difference between staying broke and building riches in business. We talked about how growth gets simpler when you identify the real bottleneck, because if awareness was the issue in your business, the answer was visibility. If sales was the issue, the answer was conversion. But if leads are the issue, then the next question becomes, what actually makes leads work? Is it just getting more people into the funnel? No, because getting the lead is only one stage. Building the relationship with the lead, that is another stage. And moving the lead into action is another stage. So last slide was about identifying the bottleneck. This live is about what to do when that bottleneck is leads. That is what today is about. So let me give you the framework for today. There are three parts to this, called three pillars, right? Your lead generation, which is, this is all right in your middle funnel, right? This is after awareness. This is at the interest, at the decision stage. Lead generation is the first part, lead nurturing, and then lead conversion. Simple, but very, very powerful. Lead generation is how do you attract and capture interest? Lead nurturing is how do you deepen trust and belief? Lead conversion is how do you move the right lead into the right next step. If you only master one of these three, your growth will stay inconsistent. But if you learn how these three work together, your business becomes much more predictable. This is how you stop collecting leads and start creating clients. Um, that's that's basically you're starting a relationship, you're building a relationship and deepening it so that people actually participate and then conversion actually happens. Okay, so let's start with the first part. First part is lead generation. Lead generation is about turning attention into contact. Turning attention into contact. This is where somebody goes from seeing you to raising their hand. Hey, I'm interested, right? This is where they opt in for something that you give them. They register, they come and download something, they apply, they join some type of group or community. They basically give you their information. And a lot of people think lead generation is just traffic. It is not. Lead generation is traffic with intention. Listen to me. Lead generation is traffic with intention, because if it is not enough for people to see you, they need a reason to take the next step. That means strong lead generation depends on a clear problem that you actually solve, a relevant promise, a compelling hook, a strong call to action, and an easy next step. If any of these are weak, lead generation will be weak. This is crossing the first threshold in your business, because now the person is no longer just a viewer, now they are a lead, right? Attention is what I call rented. A lead is permission. right? Attention is rented, a lead is permission. People do not raise their hand because you showed up. They raise their hand because what you offered felt relevant to them. What you offer felt relevant. So, as an example for this, um, this is all of our opt-ins, for example, opt-ins for people to come get something from us and they trade us for their information. This is opt-in to all of our lead generations that we give. Could be a recorded masterclass, could be a book, could be a PDF file, could be a swipe file, whatever that is, they're opting into it. Okay. Um, the story that I can give you on a personal level is essentially the story of my journey with my wife Phyllis, right, who's been with me now for 20 years. We went on a first date, right? After awareness, after us getting proximity with each other, lead generation is that, right? It felt right. I had to ask her out, right, on a first date, and she accepted. That's lead generation. There's interest. They raise their hand. They're willing to go on a first date with you. That is lead generation. Okay. So now let's go to the second part. Second part is lead nurturing. This is where most entrepreneurs really lose momentum because they generate the lead and they do not know what to do next. If you had a great first date, you gotta ask them on a second date, right? Lead nurturing is the process of building trust after interest. This is where you help the lead know you, like you, trust you, even believe you, right? That actually want you, right? This happens through email, nurturing sequences, stories, following up. Again, the money's on the follow up, right? Content, case studies, value, consistency, invitation. That's how it actually works. This is not just about sending information, it is about deepening relationship, right? And your test is going to be that can you stay consistent after they opt in? Can you keep showing up without sounding desperate? Can you create enough value that that belief keeps rising? Right? Your allies in this are consistency, storytelling, social proof, patient follow-ups, clear messaging, trust building content, real case studies. And your enemies of this are ghosting the lead. You generate a lead, and you are actually the one who ghosted the lead after they opt in. Only emailing when you want to sell, only emailing when you want to promote something, nurturing without direction, overcomplicating the message, trying to impress instead of connect, giving information without building conviction. Those are your enemies. The lead does not just need more information. The lead needs more belief. The lead needs more belief. Listen to me, right? Nurturing is how strangers stop feeling cold and start feeling connected. As an example for this, um, we have things that our audience after the lead is generated, they opted in to either a community of ours or came to get to a book or a lead magnet PDF or something, and then we ask them to register for something, one of our webinars, one of our master classes, registering for a a one-time deep dive immersion, something like that, right? Or to connect on a discovery call, strategy call, or even to one of our pre-recorded or live master classes, or either one, but they're we're moving them, you know, to deepen the relationship with us, right? So my journey with my wife, the first day went well. Just imagine, like, we now have two beautiful children. We have this amazing life together. If I would have stopped asking her on the second date, right, we wouldn't have this life. We wouldn't have this amazing business and children and this amazing life that we actually live, right? So if you have a first date is amazing, you got to ask them on a second date because if you don't, somebody else will. Okay, again, listen to me. If you don't ask them on a second date, someone else will, and they'll be somebody else's girl, right? Um, so now let's go to the third part. The third part is lead conversion. This is where trust turns into action. This is where the right lead says yes. Um, that might mean that they buy your offer. That might mean that join your challenge. That might mean they book a call, apply for the program, taking the next step. The next committed step. And this is where the, the real big ordeal happens, right? Because a lot of people nurture leads, but never actually know how to convert them. They talk, they teach, they inspire, but they never move people to decision. Lead conversion requires a clear offer or a clear next step. conviction in the value, in your value, a strong invitation, proof, urgency, and really, and a process that reduces uncertainty. And here's the hard part. Some people do not lose the sale because the lead is wrong. They lose the sale because the conversion path was weak. Right? Some people do not lose the sale because the lead was wrong. They lose the sale because the conversion path was weak. Maybe the offer was unclear. Maybe your next step was confusing. Maybe the ask was too soft. Maybe the proof was missing. Maybe the follow up just stopped way too early. Right? This is the ordeal that you have to deal with. Being willing to ask for commitment after trust has been built. You see, lead nurturing warms the relationship. Lead conversion moves the relationship. If you do not know how to invite, do not be surprised when people stay interested but never actually commit. Okay, an example for this is a lot of our moving our clients to the next step is purchasing one of our low tickets, for example, a ticket to our challenge or a masterclass or an immersion or boot camp. Right, right now our 5-day Dream Life Dream Business Challenge is our low ticket. We're actually people who are trust us, they're consuming. Then we ask them to move to the next step and to our challenge, right? So my wife is the same way, right? When we went our first date, second date, third date, and during dating stage, it felt right. It felt great. The energy was there. We were connected. So what did I do? I made my move, right? I made my move. I leaned in, on one of our fourth or fifth dates. It just timing was right. It felt right. So I moved in to give her a kiss, and she kissed me back. And again, if I didn't do that, we wouldn't have a life. We wouldn't have children. We wouldn't have this business, this amazing life that we actually live, right? So let me ask you this: which part do you think your business needs most right now? Is it lead generation? Is it lead nurturing? Is it lead conversion? Drop in the comments. We definitely want to know where you stuck at. Where's the gap in your business? Lead generation, lead nurturing, or lead conversion, right? Because here's the thing. Leads are not the finish line. Most people think, oh, I got this amazing leads, right? It's not the finish line, my friends. Leads are just the middle of your journey. When you know this, it changes everything for you, because when you think the goal is just to get the lead, you stop too early. But when you understand that the lead is the beginning of a deeper process, now you build your business differently. You stop asking, how do I get more leads? And you start asking, how do I attract the right lead? How do I build trust with that lead? How do I move that lead into commitment? That is your business. So, my friends, go back to your business and stop measuring success only by opt-ins, only by leads. You start measuring success by movement, okay? From attention to trust to action. All right, let's get practical. After this live, your assignment is very, very simple. Audit your business in these three areas. First is lead generation. Are the right people opting in? If not, look at your hook, look at your call to action, your lead magnet, your landing page, your traffic source. Look at that, okay? And then the second part is lead nurturing. Are your leads building trust after they opt in, right? If not, look at your email follow up, your storytelling, your proof, your nurture sequence, your consistency, right? Are you showing up? And then third is your lead conversion. Are your nurtured leads taking the next step? If look at your conversion rate, right? Again, it's law of averages, right? If not, look at your offer, right? Does your offer need some work? Your invitation, are you making enough offers, right? Your conversion event, right? Are you spending enough time with them? Is the timing right? Your follow up, your clarity around the ask, right? The problem that you solve, the payoff that they actually get, um, the answer. Then you really just answer this question: what is my real bottleneck inside the lead journey? Right? You stop treating all leads the same and you start leading them through the right process. So my message today, my friends, is very, very simple. Lead generation, lead nurturing, and lead conversion are not the same thing. Each one matters. Each one plays a role, and each one must be built with intention. Lead generation gets the hand raised. Lead nurturing builds the trust. Lead conversion moves the yes. Would you understand that your business gets stronger? You stop obsessing over just getting more leads and you start focusing on creating better movement through the lead journey. This is how leads turn into clients. This is how attention turns into revenue. This is how your business grows with more predictability. right? So let me know in the comment section, what was your biggest takeaway from today? Was it lead generation, right? Is your bottleneck? Is it lead nurturing or lead conversion? Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. Um, and if this message spoke to you, my friends, drop trust, right? Because if you're looking to convert more leads, drop trust in the comment section. And if you know you need to stop just collecting leads to start leading them and start leading them, then drop lead in the comments as well. And if you want to learn how to generate an endless flow of leads, how to nurture leads lists, and how to convert them into paid clients, I'm going to invite you to attend our Dream Life Dream Business Challenge. We're going to walk you through, how to really build your amazing dream life first. What's an and life look like instead of an or life? And then we're going to dive into your dream self, right? How to step into your full authentic self and then build your dream business, right? What you sell, who you sell to, where you're selling it, how do you work with clients? How do you fulfill on your offer after they say yes? And then all your marketing and your lead generation and your on your offer, your low ticket offers, your high ticket offers. That is what the challenge is all about. But we will dive really deep into lead generation, lead nurturing, as well as lead conversion at the Dream Life Dream Business Challenge. Okay, so I invite you to that. Next slide, we're going to build on this because once you understand lead generation, lead nurturing, and lead conversion, the next question becomes, how do you actually sell in a way that creates more money, more leverage, and more wealth? How do you sell automated, if that's your thing, one-to-one, one-to-many? How do you do it through virtual events? How do you do it through in-person events? Because generating the lead is one thing, nurturing the lead is another. I will be in That'll be Wednesday. I will actually be in Vietnam. I will be in a city called Da Nang, Vietnam. I'll be there streaming live to talk to you about sales because generating a lead is really just one step of this. Nurturing leads is another. But knowing how to convert that lead through the right sales mechanism is where real growth actually happens. So next slide's title is how the wealthy get wealthier. They know how to sell in more than one way because the truth is wealthy entrepreneurs do not rely on one sales method. They understand how to sell in different ways, in different environments, for different offers and to different buyers. So today was about understanding the lead journey. Next live in Da Nang, Vietnam is about understanding the sales journey, how to sell in different ways, how to choose the right selling method, how to use each one intentionally. You do not want to miss that live, my friends. And for those who will be attending our Dream Life Dream Business Challenge, we'll see you there. We look forward to seeing you. Other than that, my friends, talk to you soon. Stay blessed. We'll see you next live.